Chapter 10. Sri Sadguru said, "The blessed ones who tread the path of devotion should root out bad company. Brindavan can be found wherever the association of sadhus is found. Those who are well versed in all the Shastras and yet do not practice devotion to Krishna are also considered to be wicked. Even women, the foolish, the laymen, and the low-born do adore Sri Govinda, son of Nanda, with firm faith. As Dharma looks like Adharma and Adharma poses to be Dharma, even scholars get illusioned and hence find it difficult to make a distinction between the two. One should not pay respect to a person who is indifferent towards Sri Govinda, however much elderly, scholarly, and respectable he may be. Those devotees who hinder the practice of Vaishnava Dharma are not at all true kingsmen. They are the worst enemies in one's spiritual life. However bad, wicked, ill mannered, and self centered a person may be, if he shows the path of devotion to Lord Krishna, he is considered the closest relative. Thinking on these lines, Akrura took Kamsa to be the best relative. On his way to Brindavan, he remembered and paid respects to Kamsa. Even an elderly person, well versed in the Shastras, should accept the sanctified feet wash of young devout boy who chants the divine names of Sri Krishna. Even the learned people do not understand the import of the Bhagavata Dharma, which stands contrary to the worldly rules and which is emphasized by Bhagavan himself. In Jaipur, there was a Brahmana named Parashurama, well versed in all Shastras. He led the life of a householder and was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. He was leading a life always worshipping the sadhus with great respect and attending on them politely. He had an immensely beautiful, young, and charming daughter named Karmadevi. She was worshipping Sri Krishna with untold gopi prem right from her childhood. She adorned Sri Krishna with great love and hence disliked marrying anybody else. But Parasurama forcibly gave her in marriage to another person and he was bound by social customs. Once when her husband came to take her home, the Vaishnavite woman Karmadevi thought that some great danger had befallen her. No one waits for an opportune time to leave a house blazing in fire. In the same way, one should not wait for the favorable time to quit the household life if he has developed thorough detachment. One should quit that place where there are hurdles to the practice of Krishna Bhakti. Realizing this, Karmadevi deserted her husband and other relatives, left the house, and marched towards Sri Brindavan. That devotee of Sri Krishna who was traveling in the desolate, dreadful, and dark forest felt no fear en route. Later, Parashurama learned that his daughter was missing. He became very sad and startled and shed tears of sorrow. The king of the place met Parashurama, his guru. Finding Parashurama lamenting, he consoled him and sent his scholars in search of the guru's daughter. All those soldiers rode horses and followed Karmadevi closely on the way to the forest. Karmadevi was frightened to hear the sound of the horse's hooves. She immediately engaged in silent prayers to Sri Krishna, who extends a helping hand in times of danger. The very moment there was seen a dead, stinking camel whose abdomen was dug deep into a cavity by foxes. Karmadevi, who feared the shackles of samsara and the pungent odor of sense enjoyments, entered into the cavity in the stomach of the camel and started meditating on Sri Krishna. Those soldiers could not bear the foul smell and hence did not go that side in search of her. Unable to find her out, they returned back. Unexpectedly, some devotees of Lord Hari came there chanting Sri Krishna's names on their way to Sri Vrindavan. Karmadevi got rid of the shackles of the samsara. Free of cares, she reached Sri Vrindavan along with those devotees. There she stayed under a tree named Brahmakunda and remained engaged in Krishna Kirtan always. Her neck was adorned with a rosary of tulasi beads. She was wearing a worn-out dress. She was practicing strict continence and austerities and took a simple food comprising roots and fruits. Urdhva Tilak was beautifying her forehead. Karmadevi, the lover of Sri Krishna, lived on the bank of Yamuna with keen interest in chanting the divine names of Sri Krishna. In the meantime, Parasurama learned that his daughter was living in Sri Vrindavan. In order to avoid the gossips of relatives and others, he came to take her home, but all his entreaties failed. Karmadevi did not agree to leave Vrindavan and reach home. That Brahmana, a great devotee of Lord Krishna, returned home empty handed and in great sorrow. By way of consoling his wife, he spoke the following. The Brahmana said, "You are quite blessed. Your wedded life has become meaningful. Your daughter has become a devoted servant maid of Sri Krishna. I too regularly read Bhagavatam and do the puja of Sri Krishna. Yet I am not that brave. I continue to be the servant of the king. Though your daughter is very young, she has reached Sri Vrindavan and taken Sri Krishna to be her husband, unmindful of abuses. She has very deep devotion to Sri Krishna, and hence she should definitely be a gopi. Due to our good fortune, she is born as our beloved daughter." Sri Sadguru continued. Having spoken thus, the Brahmana lost control of himself and wept bitterly. Now his wife consoled him. One who reads the life story of Sri Karmadevi with ardent devotion shall acquire unflinching loving devotion to Sri Govinda. Thus ends chapter 10 entitled Karmadevi Charitam of Book 6 of Sri Vaishnava Samhita, composed by Shri Krishna Premi Swamigal.